Okay. Mark, I sent you something. Could you use your phone to just check on the YouTube channel? Yeah. Just help me monitor it a bit. Yeah, I sent it to Telegram or Sniper Group. Yeah.
Check now.
Feels funny without doing it with Stacy.
Boom.
Is it anything? Okay.
Yeah, it's working.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm still trying to finish my lunch. Hello, everyone. Hello, Andrew. Thank you for hosting this.
Nico's on. Yeah, this is for Stacy, who cannot be here today. So let me load the screen.
I think everyone's going to start joining now.
Oh, hi, Aniko. Wow, hi. Long time no see you.
Hi, Nobuko. Hi. I'm always here trying to hang on.
Thank you. Are you in Europe?
Yes, I'm in Sweden.
Okay, let's get started since it's 9. I have to be the host too. So, yeah. Hi everyone from MOONTOKEN and from other groups as well. Thank you for having me here today. I'm Andrew Boey, and basically, Stacy unfortunately cannot be here. She was supposed to be the host, so I'm just helping her. Unfortunately, her dog just passed away. So everyone, let's have a 30-second moment of silence and pray for her dog. Thank you, please. Going now.
I'm praying for investment and the dog.
Amen. May he rest in peace. So thank you very much, God. Please, please take care of him. Okay, Gizmo, its name. Okay, so today's talk is basically Stacy asked me, invited me to share with everyone, and I thought I also invite all my friends here today to re-listen to a strategy that that I think works really well now, thanks to the space that we are in, DeFi space, crypto space, or whichever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, I think when it comes down to individual, everyone wants their personal freedom, whether it's financial freedom, whether it's doing things that they love. It's all close to the heart. So I think this is where I've been studying, researching, applying what I learned from about 20 years ago. Yes, 20 years ago. Where I started with Robert Kiyosaki. Yeah, so just to give a background for everyone, I grew up in a doctor's family, and traditional saying is go to school, get good grades, find a good job. Yeah, so I did all that. I studied, I went to university, all the way to university. Then I graduated during the dot-com bubble. So even if you have a 4.0 GPA, doesn't mean you get a good job. Thankfully, I went back home, Singapore. I was trying to get a job in US. And basically after that, I so-called got into investment banking. And my story for that part is quite interesting. I loved the job. I loved, start learning about the finances. And the beautiful part was I worked so hard until I fainted. I went to the hospital. Okay. And from there, after that, one of my associate, Martin, his name, literally gave me a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. And that sort of opened Pandora box, because when I read it, I was shocked. I was like, why did my dad teach me this? Or why did the school education only teach me about studying hard and going to get a job? I didn't know you could actually learn about passive income, learn about it. So that really brought the fire in me. I was like, wow, you open Pandora box. I was like, okay. So I went out there. I bought every single book that Robert Kiyosaki had, read it, reread it. The first book that everyone definitely need to learn is, of course, Rich Dad Poor Dad. The second book is Cash Flow Quadrant, and this is where those two books itself has a lot of secrets inside that if you work on it, understand it, and apply it, it's life changing. Okay, so cut the story short. So I went through a lot of journeys. After the investment, I quit my job. Looked for a 9-to-5 jobs in operation to improve my operational skill sets, and eventually got out on my own to start my own so-called web development and digital marketing agency, which I had for 15 years. And basically went through all that. Then about 6 years ago, 2015, I actually accumulated quite a bit of wealth, up to 3 million. But what happened to me is bad financial decisions and over leverage, and cash. I didn't have enough cash flow, and things went rock bottom. I lost my home. My dad was also going through dementia, a doctor going through dementia. I also learned a lot of lessons, and basically I was really on the verge of divorce as well. But thanks to all the training and self-development that I've done, I managed to overcome it. Thanks to thanks to the friends around me, and of course God, that really helped me get out of that really difficult situation. And in the last few years, from 2015, I was rebuilding everything. I'm still rebuilding things back, but this time my goals are bigger, and this incorporates everyone in. And literally, so that came to a stage where I was trying to apply what I learned and all the things that I learned. And the one thing I did learn is we need to plant good seeds, whether it's helping others to be free. And this is where the vision and mission came in. So my personal vision, is to build Singapore's first crazily ski and snowboard center, probably with a ski jump as well for Olympics. And also to send a team of Winter Olympians to represent Singapore. So that's my dream in a country that has zero snow. Yet, we also don't have any mountains. We only have a hill that is like 300 meters tall, 300 meters high, not tall. Yeah, so it's a crazy dream, but I think it can be done because I know China has already built our indoor ski slopes in like the shopping mall. So I think it can be done. That probably costs quite a bit of money. Yeah, so this is where what I learned from one of my fellow teachings is life. It's about what you grow, what kind of seeds you plant, and karma has a way of coming back to you 10 times. So I think that's the most powerful thing I learned. Yes, I'm Catholic. It has nothing to do with Buddhism, but I believe it's just a law of the universe. And the cool part is, so this is where the mission came out to support that vision. It was originally 100 people, but with the whole group, we decided to call it 108 because in Chinese, it's good luck, it's superstitious. 8 is the infinity, which means, forever. And this is where the power of that 108 was to help them get 10 million each. Because 108 times 10 million is how much? 1.08 billion if you accumulate everyone. And I think 1.08 should be enough to definitely, grow and have enough money from that. And if you take karma as 10 times, that means it's actually close to 10 billion. So this is where I'm using that system, of karmic management to help people around me, those 108 especially, to grow it to 10 million. And this, I found this through crypto, and and how not just crypto, I would say a diversification of asset class as well, but crypto being a stepping stone to other areas. Yeah. So I'm going to share some slides. Let me find it. So just give me a second. Okay. So let me share this, and where is that slide? Here you are. Okay. Oops. Is it showing? Did it crash?
Yes, yes, it is showing.
Showing, we can see.
Yeah, but hold on. Give me a second.
I'm accepting all the new people.
Yeah, I'm just checking on the stream, but it's crashing on the stream. Okay, Zoom meeting. Hold on. Sorry, everyone.
It's all right.
Just
Take
try.
your time. Take your time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I'm managing the what as well. Okay. So this is the slide that we're sharing with everyone, and basically this is a so-called macro strategy. So just to give a bit of background, so this is my background, basic master's, former investment banker, which I gone through. My passion is really sports. I love sports, and this is where the dream of the so-called the crypto to support and fund my dream of snow sports for Singapore, and of course the mission to go with it. Okay, and I'm a really strong believer. Everyone knows me that I'm really strong believer of never stop learning. And most important, learning is one thing, but applying it without application and without taking action, it means nothing. Okay, so I think the first question everyone would want to ask themselves, which cash flow quadrant are you? Are you the employee, where you're working for someone, or are you the self-employed where you are your own boss running your own small business? Or are you a business owner with a team that actually runs a bigger team? Yeah, so this is where the power is. Oh, thank you, Jasmine. You're drawing something. The business owner has a system in place. In this case, I call it a system. And of course, the long-term goal for everyone is, to be an investor. And where, as they're saying in the crypto world, are you a whale? A key is we all want to be whales, right? Yeah. So with lots of money, and we just let the money work for us. So the really important part is the left side of the quadrant where the E and S is, right? Is where you trade your time for money. Okay, like you go to a job, they pay you based on the hourly rate or per month rate. If you're part-time, obviously is what we call the hourly rate. Like now with COVID, if you're working part-time and because of COVID, they stop all your activities, you don't get paid, right? So I believe that's happening to everyone in the world right now. Business owner, where you have the business, maybe you are shut down because if you are like the food, F&B and all this, if you don't have delivery, you're basically a restaurant that has to shut down during COVID. So this is where business owner, what kind of business are you in? But you have a team running the place. You have to pay overheads and all this, but you have bigger responsibility. Investor, I would say, it's how smart are you in investing? Are you letting the money work hard for you? If you got 10 million, 20 million, you park it at a bank, to earn interest. Is the interest paying for your lifestyle or per month for your expenses? So this is where we want to see, where do you want to be right now, or where do you want to go? Yeah. So identifying where you are is really important, because that will help you know where you are right now before you go to your destination, right? So in any race, there's always a start and there's always an end. And in some cases, you start, you end, then you find out that you're still starting again because there's a new race that you need to go to. So that's reality of life, right? And that's what makes it so interesting. So I'm going to go through something which I developed from my past, I would say 20 years of knowledge, and compress into a really small detailed diagram here. So I'm not sure if you can see, but I'll just read it out and explain. So again, this is the 4 quadrant, the E, the S, the B, and the I. So within the employee space, so I'll just talk about the E first. There's a money blueprint that everyone wants to have. And, if you can identify within yourself what is that money blueprint, it will really help you improve yourself or your situation, So with every employee, you have what we call your earned income, which is what you're trading. Then after that money comes into your life, what do you do with it? How many of you go to, remember during school days, our parents give us some allowance. Do you save first or do you spend first, then save the leftover? Can everyone relate to that, right? Nobuko?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So the blueprint is, do you, take the money? Okay, I got $2. Let's say I got $2. In Singapore, usually that's how much I give my daughters because luckily the cost of stuff is not so high. $2, does she go and, okay, I'm going to spend like $1.80 or I go and spend my full $2. Then whatever's left over at the end of the day, I put it in the piggy bank, or does she spend everything off? Okay, so that is the blueprint that you condition or your parents condition yourself to be, and it actually leads all the way to into your adult life. And if you had a really good parent that said, okay, dear, this is $2. I want you to set aside 20 cents at the beginning, set it aside into your savings account, or in that case, savings account, and the rest goes into your eating and all this. But the whole habit, if your parents actually instill that habit into you, is did you save first, then spend? Or in the adult case, did you set money aside first for saving or for investment before you actually spend? Yeah, that little blueprint I learned from T. Harv Eker, Millionaire Mind Intensive, can make or break a person. Because your mentality is you start budgeting first, even before you start spending. And this is how the rich get richer and the wealthier, the smart wealth start accumulating more money over time. Okay. The dad, Mark probably knows about him, the girl that started doing crypto trading, and she actually bought her own private property in Singapore. For those who are unfamiliar, private property in Singapore is probably 1.2 million at least. Yeah, or more. So, but the point is, she said that, I remember very clearly, she said that her dad made her write down whatever she spent every single day since she was in elementary school or primary school, and she has accounted, as if she's an accountant. And because of that habit of writing and being aware of her money, she could actually make really good financial decisions when she was much older, as a teenager or even getting into adult. So I think her blueprint was really well conditioned, and she can make really good financial decisions. And a lot of times I can say, I tell you straight, my dad was a spender, and because of that, he had, although he was doctor, he was earning really, but he spent probably more than he earned, and that's where he started borrowing money and all this. So I had to go through that $3 million failure. It's because then I realized that it's because I also learned from my dad. That's where I knew I needed to change. If not, I'm going to screw up my life for the rest. Not just my life, but my future generation as well. And this is where, I'm making that change with my whole group of friends and team. And, I think we support each other, and that's the most beautiful part about it. Yeah. Yeah. So coming back to that, so again, the reality is you get your income. Are you investing it? 10 to 20%. So I have here on the chart what we call charity. Also, I think charity is really important, giving back. When you actually give, you actually get back more. And this is where, so if you get $1,000, okay, let's say you got $2,000, 5 to 10% goes towards charity. You can trade that for time or, energy that you use to give charity. That also works too. So up to you. If you want to make it easy, you just give to a charitable organization. So I usually allocate 5 to 10%. Then after that, giving first, right? so that you give so that you can get back bigger. Second one is, what I call what T.R. Becker calls the financial freedom jar, which is basically this money you will never touch. You set aside for your freedom, basically your time freedom, money freedom. And usually the more you put into this jar, the faster your money accumulates, which means, you get out of the rat race faster. So this is where I allocate 10 to 20%. Of course, when you start earning more, you can allocate a much bigger amount. Then the third one we go into is education. Okay, we are always learning. So literally setting aside money for courses or anything to educate and improve yourself. Remember, courses are not just expenses. Courses, why do we go for courses? We find mentors. And mentors have gone through a lot of crap in their life too. Okay? Excuse my language. But because they've gone through a lot of this, they can shorten your journey. The whole point, it helps you save time. You pay money to save time. Similarly to every one of you, I'm sure you guys go and eat McDonald's once in a while, right? We know the food is no good for our health, but why do we go? It saves us time. It only takes like 10 minutes. I know in Singapore it's really fast, but when I was in Michigan, ordering one McDonald's can take me 10-15 minutes. Okay, not really fast food, but yeah, in Singapore and Asia is definitely very fast. Within 5 minutes you get your food. So you pay money to save time. And education, if you spend money to go for courses to improve yourself, whether it's to learn crypto, whether it's to learn finances, whether it's to improve your fitness, all this is to help you save time. And also maybe you need a mentor to look after you. So play. How many of you like to spend money? Raise your hand. Yeah. So everything in life is balanced. We set aside, 10%, 5 to 10%, up to you. And this is where you balance your life with that play. And I remember T.R. Becker said that you must spend this play jar that you allocate. Okay, so if you set aside $500 or $300, you need to spend it. But you can hold that 3 months. Yeah, so you need to spend it. You cannot just hold it up. Yeah, again, depends. It's like a hungry man going to a buffet, right? If you suddenly don't spend, then suddenly you want to go and spend, you might actually splurge too much. So this is where play jar. So the rest of the money usually goes to necessities, things like your daily expenses, food, utilities, mobile phone, all those rent, everything. So that is the employee. And basically, if you have this structure, you have some hope of at least saving 10 to 20% for your future. And majority of people, I would say, know this. Probably not so in different orders, but I would say this was a recommended approach where you actually give first, you set aside for your future and investments, then the rest is, education, play, and necessity. So that's the employee. So what I have here, it's what I call, this is my crypto strategy that works for me. I will go into the S. So S means self-employed, means active income is still active because you are still trading time for money. And active trading requires skills, things like technical analysis. Do you have a mentor that teaches us? So this is where I also went for course from the education side to pay for this so that I can save money by making better trading decisions. I would say this is a self-employed because it replaces your job. It does not fall under investments because you are literally trading time for money still. And you can ask my friends, active trading takes up a lot of time, but it can make you a lot of money if you have the right teacher and the right strategies to do that. Okay, so if you employ this into your system as something that you do once or twice a week or 3 times a week on top of your job, you could supplement your income a little bit more. But again, like I said, it still uses up your energy and it's not really automated. But that being said, people have made a lot of millions through active trading, as their full time. Yeah. So in the COVID situation, I also started doing a bit more active trading because it helps supplements. And you reach a point where if I need lunch money, I can just do a quick trade. You know, like, hey, Nico, I'm coming over for lunch. Okay, wait, let me do some trade first tonight. Okay, I made enough money. No, let's go for lunch. Okay, yeah. So I always believe before you spend, go and make money. Yeah. So that's the interesting part. So that's one skill set you can actually look into for investments, or I mean for active trading to supplement your income, active income. So let's go to the right quadrant, which is to me the most important quadrant. So I've explored crypto for about a year plus, and I've dived into my rabbit holes really deeply, to the point of understanding as much as I can. I guess because I'm a study freak person now, I like to dive deep, and this is where I explored robots, bots that actually trade. So we came across a few bots, and we found out that it gives good returns. And literally, if most people don't have 50 to 100K upfront cash, but basically that's a target that if you don't have that, you want to slowly accumulate until you're able to have that 50 to 100,000. And we found that from the returns, we actually found that if you have 50 to 100,000, you have enough money there where the bots can actually slowly grow it at a good rate. At the same time, you can slowly draw some money out either every week or every month, as a income, as a side income, or as extra income or spare change. And this is where it still grows, yet you still can draw out money. So you literally take a capital gain investment to become a cash flow, so-called cash flow. What's it called? Cash flow exit, and then it can be contributing towards your monthly income. So this is where it's really interesting how you can actually do this. For those who are familiar with the DeFi space, decentralized finance, where you have staking and liquidity pools, this is where if you have 50 to 100K, majority of the DeFi space, you need to, of course, do your own research and make sure you're careful, can generate about 2,000 to 3,000 as well. So literally, if you got about 100 to 200,000 with a combination of both, you'll be generating close to 4,000 to 6,000 a month, excluding your job, excluding your trading. And this is where I believe most people expenses, if you take a very simple person, 3,000 to 4,000 US dollar a month is probably the average income, depending what kind of job you do, and again depending on how much is your expenses. You have a position where you can literally not work and just depend on these systems to actually feed you. Yeah. Of course, if you're still working and you have all these systems in place, what happens to your income? It literally doubles up. Okay, sounds good, everyone? Yeah, so that's the power of this. And I think this is where if you combine all of this, the business income, the self-employed income, and you all contribute to your long-term investments, whether it's into paper assets, whether it's into real estate, whether it's into gold and silver, or you're holding Bitcoin or Ethereum with the hope in the long run that it eventually will go up when there's more adoption. This is where in the long run it can reach that amount. And my target for everyone, just briefly, I have actually 4 levels, 5 levels in fact, that we predetermine. So the first thing that to be financially free is first you need to know your expenses. When your passive income, is more or equal to than your expenses, you don't have to work, but it's not very safe because in case your passive income doesn't work that well that month, you still might be in the red. So this is where the first stage is at least get some passive income so that it covers your expenses. So what we call that as level 1. And eventually, when that is better, we move on to something called level 2, which is where I predetermine it as your passive income is about 3 times your expenses. Okay, so this is where it's really amazing, simply because you're at a very comfortable level where literally even you pay off your expenses, you still got literally let's say your expenses is 3,000, you still got at least 6,000 spare change that you can use for your other stuff. or if I were like that person, I'll be literally just still keep my expenses nice and low. Maybe maybe go to a restaurant once a week, a bit more or something like that, just to have a meal with my wife and all this. And this is where hi guys, hi Chris. So this is where with the extra, let's say 6,000 there, imagine you can reinvest it back into your business income streams, your staking, your robots, and this is where the money starts rolling even more, and it's passive, right? Because you set up your system. Okay, so the key point is in any business or any system, you need to make sure it's always working. So once in a while, you just drop in, but you don't need to spend a lot of time. That's the whole point. Your time and energy. Yeah, the part that we always miss out is the time and energy. You can't have 5 jobs. There's not enough time and there's not enough energy to do 5 jobs. So this is where it's really important to do just that. Give me a second. I think my Zoom just crashed. Did it just crash? Might have. Can you all hear me still? Oh,
Yes, we can hear you, Andrew.
Okay, I think my Zoom just crashed. Give me a second. Let me just restart it really quickly. Okay.
Andrew, are we going to record this?
It's on YouTube, so it's sort of recorded. Yeah, it's on YouTube, so it's sort of recorded.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay. So, coming back. Sorry for the interruption. Yeah. So basically, this is where your business income, or if you have a business that's generating income, you can also contribute back to that. On top of that, you still got your robots that's generating capital gain and cash flow. You got have your liquidity pools and your staking that's also again generating potential capital gain and cash flow. All this is really contributing back to your long-term goal. Again, so earlier I said level 1 was to passive income more than expenses. Level 2 is when your passive income is 3 times your expenses. And let me go to the exciting part. The level 3. So level 3, you reach a stage where you got about, earlier I mentioned at level 2, if you got expenses of 3,000, you got spare change of sort of 6,000. So this is when level 3, you have 20,000 spare change extra, to basically, you reach a level where your passive income has basically 20,000 spare change on top of, after expenses. So that's quite a lot of money. And I would say a lot of people don't even get past level 1 because they're all, stuck in their job. They are really used to it. But they do want to get out, but they don't know how to get out, So this is where, you need to improve your knowledge and all this. Okay. So the next part, level 3. So that's level 3. Level 4, which is my favorite of all, is I believe when you reach this stage, you have really good friendships, and this is the point where life gets so fun. You have 10 friends, so specifically 10 friends that has 50,000 spare change. So imagine my good friend Mark, Cynthia, Nobuko, Aniko, all are in here, all are at level 5 now, and we literally can be like, hey Mark, Mark maybe went on a trip to Dubai, then he bought a little house in the island there. He said, hey guys, I saw this really nice apartment there. I think we should just use our spare money to go and buy it. Then he's like, okay, good. Then we can have meetings there, in Dubai or something like that. So this is when you have 10 friends, 10 good friends that you invest together, you grow your money together, and, you reach a point that, hey, 50,000 spare change. Imagine your 10 friends, 50,000, that's $500,000. Yeah, and you literally say, oh, I'm just going, maybe Mark, are you in South Africa? Okay, I'll fly over South Africa. Let's have some lunch. You could literally do that. So this is where the level 4 is really 50,000. And this is the highest level, which is level 5. Thanks to Caleb for that, was literally the 10 million. You reach a point that you got 50,000 per month. And it's a matter, you know how to get to that stage of 50,000 per month. You have the knowledge, you have money. Now the question is scaling up. Scale up to the point that you accumulate close to 10 million. And because you already done it, I mean, if you're earning 50,000 a month, earning $1 million is not a problem. Getting $1 million of capital is not a problem. Yeah. And it's just a matter of adding one more zero behind. Yeah. That's why they always say the first million is always the most difficult. Agree? Even the first 100,000 can be the first difficult. But once you get your first 100,000, magic happens. Oh, I know how to get to 100,000. Let's move on to, the bigger picture. Yeah. So this is where you start scaling up. Oops, where's the wrong side? Oh, there's my questions. Okay, I'm going to start the video. Let me hold it a second. And let me load the Zoom. This is for everyone. Zoom, where are you, Zoom? Oops, sorry. My Zoom disappeared. Okay. How's everyone? Awesome. Okay. So we have questions. If you guys want to answer them. Level 5, our ultimate, definitely. So looking forward to it.
Yeah. It's exciting.
Yeah. Oops. Hold on. The screen is a bit messy. Okay. Let me check the restream. Any questions on that side? Great information. So we have a question and answer now. So if anybody have any questions, feel free to just turn on your mic and go. We have so many people.
I think the biggest question is how determined are each one of us prepared to work towards level 5?
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest one you need to ask yourselves. Like how important is it to you and what you're prepared to do?
Yeah, your why. So I think, like, if you use myself as example, when my clarity of the vision, the vision became even clearer because I reaffirm myself constantly, thanks to vlogs and all this. So that really helped me. But I think the key point was suddenly I have a tool with the means to reach that goal, and it can be calculated. Because if you look at life, there's really two equations. What is your yield? Like Mark, if I go to you, what's the bank interest rate?
Pathetic. It's less than inflation, and that's the sad part. You lose
so
money.
in Singapore, the interest rate is 0.01% or 0.1%. So if you park your savings in the bank, it's 0.01%. And we all know inflation, they say it's 3%, but let's, for the sake of argument, say it's 3%. So theoretically, if you are a saver, and this is what Robert Kiyosaki says, savers are losers because you're not increasing it because of inflation, correct?
Yeah.
And the most scary thing, which no one ever mentions, and I shall say it to everyone tonight, the most scary thing is not inflation. The most scary thing is compounded inflation.
Yeah.
So you're earning, let's be a bit more, a bit nicer. Let's say your interest is 0.1. Inflation is 3%. So your first year you're losing 2.9%. And let's say you continue doing what you're doing, just putting money in the bank after your job, you set aside your 10-20%, you put it in your bank to earn that 0.1%. But every year you're losing 2.9% in real interest rate. And if you compound that 2.9%, it's like compound interest, right? But this time it's compound inflation. Boom.
Yeah.
in 20 years, you probably lost 300,000 worth of value, you know, with a small sum of money. Yeah, that means it's just deflating as time goes on. And this is why, you know, no one ever mentions compounded deflation, so-called compounded inflation, because your money is actually deflating like crazy every year. And I think one example I learned was, you know, I remember Nobuko said, you know, I worked so hard to finally can buy this property, but when I finally want to buy it, the price of it doubled. Then I worked my ass off again to finally afford it. The thing went up even more. You know, you couldn't keep up. And I think that's a perfect example where, you know, things are getting more expensive, but is our income keeping up, our growth keeping up? So that's the really scary part that people don't want to face sometimes. Yeah, because they don't have the means. So this is where by increasing your, if you don't have money, the only thing you can focus on is your financial intelligence, improving your financial skills. And this is where by improving your financial skills, you increase the rate that you return. Like I'm sure Mark and everyone knows me. You get me 100% a year, I believe I can do that, no problem. You know, yeah. But if you say your rate of growth, the only thing I know is maybe REITs 5%. That's all I know. Then what are you doing to increase your rate? As a business owner, majority of products we have to mark up 300%, because half of it goes back to overheads and the people that we hire and everything. Yeah. So this is where, you know, we understand, you know, how much margin we need. Yeah. So this is why focusing on the financial intelligence part helps you increase your rate of return. And, you know, like Mark, for us, sometimes our business or our investments, sometimes we can get, you know, 600%. Do you need a lot of capital, right, Aniko? If I can get 600%, I don't need a lot of capital. Yeah. So this is where the power of it is. Improve your knowledge on the financial education part. You don't need a lot of capital grow. But imagine you reach a stage where you know this kind of knowledge and your capital is a lot. This is where, boom, you know, like moon token to the moon. Yeah. So, you know, that is where the education is so powerful. It's so important that everyone wants to try and focus on that, improving your knowledge. And that's why I learned like crazy, because I may not have, I mean, I had a lot of capital. I lost everything. I'm rebuilding everything back from scratch. But this time my goal is really big now. You know, 10 million for everyone, 50K per month. And we have the means, we have the team, and, you know, we improve our knowledge and guide everyone. And that's so powerful. And this is where you really plant seeds for the world. You know, there's no turning back, as Dr. Jasmine said. Yeah. We can only help those who want to be helped. And I think that's the thing. Do you want to be helped? So powerful and yet so scary. You can ask the team. Sometimes it's like, oh, I got too much things to do. Yeah. And I think to me, the most amazing part is when you understand, it's like, you know, some of you may done sales before, and you're always trying to hit your KPI target and all this. You know, I've reached a stage where I don't do sales. I don't need to do sales. I don't want to do sales. I can do sales if I need to. I mean, I run a digital marketing company before. But, you know, I reached a point where I don't really need to do sales. I just do the vision, focus all my energy in fulfilling the mission, whatever that may take, and support the team. And this is where I think I've really learned a lot in life. Yeah. So going towards that journey now. So I don't want to talk too long. We'll try and keep it short. So if anyone has any questions, let me check YouTube channel. You know, feel free to ask. No, I don't see any changes. Any questions, guys? On the chat group. One heart. Nobuko, did you just woke up?
Sorry.
Is my voice too
Andrew,
therapeutic? Yep.
Is the team from Move going to be joining us? Or not at all?
Yeah, I'm not too sure yet. Yeah, that one you have to ask Stacy. Yeah, check out with Stacy when she's back. Just send her a condolence message in the token. Yeah. So sad.
Yeah, man.
I remember last year when she was helping me through my difficult time. Also, we actually did the 5 a.m. club for 4 months straight, every day on Zoom. Yeah. And Gizmo will always be there. Yeah, I literally did yoga at 5 a.m. I literally force myself every day, because when you do it for someone else, it's different when you do it for yourself. When you even you like one other thing, you do yoga not just for yourself, but you do yoga with the intention of helping somebody improve their fitness, like my wife or something like that. It really changes things. And when I think we are all human, we have our heart. And when we naturally want to help everyone. It's just that maybe society or social norms has sort of forced us into bad habits, especially in banking world. It's very vicious. So this is where, yeah. So Juju was asking, how do we get our level 1 3 times expense to level 2? Yeah. I guess I'll talk to you next time on that. But basically, it's a cash flow game strategy on that part. The important point is to understand the big picture first on the structure of where you are. Where do I need to improve? Is it the B quadrant? Is it the S quadrant? Is it the I quadrant? But everything is all catered towards the I quadrant. Because once all of us got 10 million, which in a matter of time, and I really believe we can, because the system is there. This is where who knows what we'll do. Private jet, probably too expensive.
Yeah.
Just take first class with you.
We'll actually just launch our own token. That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, we can launch our own
100%.
token. I mean, if you got the money, we can hire the right brains, and the right people with the right management. I think we all learn, the leadership is the key to everything.
Yeah.
Because whatever tokens you may be, the leadership, whether it's like Stacy, Bernard, all this, you look at the leadership, and the leadership drives the direction of the company, drives the direction of what is being set up. Are they people of integrity? Do they, do they keep their word? And if they don't keep their word, do they apologize, or do they take the interests of the investors at heart? So I think that's the key thing. And for us in the crypto space, there's so many pump and dump stuff, But if the intention of the leaders, the teams are there, this is where, it's clear cut. And that's one of the reasons why I always state my vision and mission upfront with my intention. Because when you clear things up, people can tell from your heart, from the energy, Even though we are Zoom, I think you can see how crazy I am. You all know me anyway. So, yeah, so I think that's the power where we can really go to the moon. Yeah, I'm pointing to the right side this time. And yeah, to the moon and beyond. Who knows? So, yes. So I hope this was educational for everyone. It's running out of time, already 48. So I don't want to drag too long. And my wife always complains I talk too much. Yeah. So this is all my learnings. I would say that I learned in the last 20 years, all the mistakes that I made and climbed back up. I'm still climbing back up. There's still to be honest, I still got a few skeletons. I think we all have our own skeletons. But I think our intent is we definitely need to clear our skeletons. Just give us some time. Okay. So everyone will grow back. When you've gone through rock bottom, you become so humblified that, and I think for those people who are listening or going through really difficult time, maybe it's a good idea to just open up, just talk, find someone, talk to, and, it also, for me, when I was rock bottom, that's what I did. I was rock bottom. I don't know who to turn. I eventually just set aside my ego, went to talk to my friend. I told him my situation. To be honest, that's when it just happened. And he's like, okay, let me introduce who. And you also be surprised what kind of stories they tell you because you open up. When you open up, they also open up. And then they say, oh, really? Oh, shit, I didn't know that. You know, that kind of reaction. They were like, yeah, like my friend opened up. And I was like, wow, he's the last person I thought he will do something like the A word, you know, the adultery word. Yeah, he was the last person but he resolved that issue. And that's when, you know, he showed me different ways. Then I was like, okay, I go and find out more. So I think that's where you want to open up. If you're having really difficulty, don't be embarrassed about it. You know, believe in the human nature of people helping. And I hope that really helps. 5 a.m. Club, Nobuko, there's a book called The 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma. Go and get it. Yeah.
Robin Sharma's next level. He actually guided me into my level of success when I attended one of his first conferences about waking up at 5 o'clock, doing your fitness and doing certain things to push yourself moving forward.
Yeah.
Is that what you do, Mark? Is that what you do,
Pardon me?
Mark? Is that what you do, Mark?
Super aggressively. Like my entire life, I've spent about 70% of my days working. So I'd wake up at like 5 or 6 and I'd work till about 7 or 8. My entire 20s, I never took a weekend off. So
he's Mark's
not
really
one
hardworking.
weekend.
Yeah. He's a driver, definitely.
No.
Yeah. But
Can you
5
spell
a.m.
his name in the chat? Can you spell
Yeah.
his name in the chat box? Is it
Yeah.
Sharma, S-H-A-M-A.
Robin. Mark, can you write it? Yeah. Type it.
Sure.
Yeah. I can send you a picture later. Robin Sharma. I think I have it here. Let me quick grab it.
Thank you.
This book. Robin. Can't see.
You've got it. Wow.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, that is Robin Sharma. Yeah.
So I must be honest, I don't read. I have a problem with reading. I really don't like it.
Audio files then.
But but when it comes to watching documentaries and watching guidance and that, I'm all about that. But just reading is a personal problem of mine. I'm not going to change it. So just be honest.
You need
but
the
research and that type of things where I can watch, I'm like all there.
Yeah. So
like I'm going to practice.
I think like what I liked about him for everyone. So he goes into research. I mean, I know this is a bit off topic, but you know, how you do anything is how you do everything. So I think the key word is if you can start the morning correctly, how's your rest of your day? Your day is awesome. Yeah. If you wake up on the wrong side, you're cursing, you're swearing, you're complaining, what happens to your day? You feel grumpy, grouchy the whole day, correct? Yeah. So this is where the 5 a.m. Club tells you a routine. Is to create a good routine or habit for mornings where you take that to a different level using scientific evidence. Okay. Yeah. So I'm just going to say it. Cortisol, which is your fear is the highest in the morning when you wake up. So the way to remedy that, you know, all your anxieties, especially if you're in a very stressful situation, when you wake up, you could feel really stressed out and everything. The fastest way to get rid of that is to exercise. High intensity. Make sure your heart rate is 128 beats per minute for at least 10 to 15 minutes or even 20 minutes for Robin Sharma. Yeah, at least.
Yeah, I'll get mine to like 160.
And that also coincides with the minimum amount of exercise you need actually every day for your heart to be. I remember to a cardiologist that mentioned your heart needs to beat at 128 beats per minute for at least 30 minutes. Yeah, per day. Yeah. So it coincides. Because once you exercise that, your heartbeat goes up. What happens? Adrenaline goes up. Right? Adrenaline goes up. All the dopamine also goes up, which means you feel happy, hyper, like, you know. Yeah. Then after that, your blood flows and you clear it. Then you go into meditation. You do journaling. You write your plan. You know. Then your brain is ready, and when your brain is ready, you know, so that's 20 minutes exercise, 20, this is Robin Sharma's one, 20 minutes exercise, 20 minutes preparing your brain. Then the last 20 minutes, self-development, reading a book, listen. So literally all this in 1 hour. You'll be surprised how much is done. Yeah. And last time I extended the self-development to 45 minutes to 1 hour. And because of that, I can finish one book in 1 week. Yeah. So
Wow.
the weekly target was 1 book a week. So 52 books a year. Yeah, I'm crazy.
Wow. I've never read an entire book in my entire life.
Time to change that, Mark.
I should.
So basically, imagine you wake up at 5 and there's a reason why you wake up at 5. Everyone's asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my motto with waking up at 5 a.m. is that if everyone else wakes up at 7 and I wake up at 5 for 5 days in the week, I got 10 hours more than you in a week, and I got 40 hours more than most in the entire month, which gives me like 1.5 days competitive advantage versus everyone else, just by waking up a little bit earlier and getting my day started. So that's I've been doing that for the last almost 10 years, 15 years. And that has resulted in me having a very much competitive advantage over everyone else in my business sector.
Saving time.
Yeah.
But that
Gaining time.
means you have to go to bed around 9, haven't you?
Well, that's the problem. Sometimes I go to bed at 9, sometimes I go to bed at 12 or 1, but whatever time I go to bed, 5 a.m. is the time that I wake up. Now it's a bit different. I wake up at 6 because I'm working on strategies at 9, 10, 11 o'clock, and that's normally with my bots, for example. So 6 a.m. is my time, do my training. I have a bit of me time between 8 and 9, and that's why at 9 o'clock you'll normally see me coming online when I drop my mornings, because I've had my breakfast, me time, and training, and I start my day.
It's called discipline, scheduling.
How about you, Andrew? Do you go to bed at 9? You don't. Not when
No,
you're
I
asleep.
don't.
You don't.
No, we don't. Yeah, but I do wake up at 5:30 a.m. because I'm the one that sends the kids to school. So to me, sending the kids to school is very important. Because it's my way of bonding with them. You know, no matter how small it is, whether even you don't talk, but physically being there for them, you know, whether it's, you know, I think that's what my mom did to me. So therefore, I'm going to do that. And because of that, I'm very close to my mom. Yeah, previously. Unfortunately, she passed already. But I realized my dad never did that. You know, because he was a doctor and he's working, you know, spending all his time working, and he only dedicates his work. And because of that, I realized I'm also not so close to my dad because of that. Yeah, and I just can't connect, you know, sometimes. Yeah, so I think that's why I learned from my mom, okay, I need to do this. These are the important stuff in life. And I think for like all of us, right, some of them, mothers, fathers, you know, how close are we depending on how much time they spend with us. And I think Mark and I, we do that because we really cherish our daughters. And of course we are daddies, so we definitely cherish our daughters a lot. But basically, you know, spending time with them is so, yeah.
But how about going to bed early? I mean, that takes discipline too. And
I think it depends on your time and how fast you can sleep. So this is where...
How fast you can sleep?
Yeah, how fast you can sleep.
The TV.
Yeah, and TV basically after dinner time. If you can no TV, that's the best. But of course now with crypto, it's a bit difficult.
No, I don't watch TV. I can't watch TV anymore.
I can't. We don't need to watch TV anymore. Anyway, once in a while, maybe Netflix or something, but that's about it. Yeah.
Very rare.
But definitely, basically be aware of yourself. I think the keyword is awareness. Awareness of what you're doing. Awareness of your body system. Awareness of your finances. Know where you are. Whether it's health, wealth, you know. Do you check your blood pressure every day? I do. I know I got a bit of high blood pressure, so I know I need to exercise more. I need to cut down my salt. I need to, you know, nutrition. Yeah. Do more yoga. Yeah. And I'm a coach, so I need to look good too. But unfortunately, I cannot go out.
You do, Andrew.
I look good, yeah, but my stomach very big now.
Andrew looks very young, that's for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, for those who don't know, I'm 45 years old.
Than when I first met you. You look younger
How old are you,
than
Andrew?
that.
Yeah, see you, Nico. 45.
You look 35, man.
Thank you.
No,
Thank
you
you.
look 25. You look 25.
You look 25.
Yeah, nah, I've got 20 years of experience in me, so yeah. Okay, thank you very much, Nobuko. Thank for accompanying me.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I guess Cynthia has a perfect example. You need to zen more. Yeah. So, So thank you, everyone. Yeah, I hope that was informational for everyone, whether it's from MOONTOKEN, my team, and everything. Anything. I'll be in the chat. You can just message me, for all that. So, yep. So thank you very much.
Andrew, is this recorded? Because I missed a few bits. Sorry. Is this recorded?
Okay, hold on. Okay, guys. Wait for the record. Bye, guys. I'm gonna end the